Slowly, if just come a little bit closer. Hello. We will start. So, okay, so hello to everyone. Well, I step that I haven't. Okay. So I will start like completely from the beginning of this project. I was invited here to Turku to do part in the like experiment, or how would you call it, a program called Time for Live Art. And this had already like some kind of rules, and this was to do a slow travel from your place of origins, or the place where you are staying at the moment, to Turku. I'm from Slovenia otherwise, but I live in Ghent in Belgium, and I live on a container ship boat. So when I was thinking how to travel here, to do the slow travel by itself, I decided that probably it would be the best to go with the ship. And as normally what is happening now on the water waves, we use them mostly to move goods. So whatever kind of goods the water waves are used for. So I decided to ship myself in a container. This was my proposal for the Turku new performance. The problem that we encountered immediately was that we knew that in fact shipping with a container would probably cause questions about illegal smuggling of people, health regulations, the smuggling of drugs, for example, insurance. So we still approach to the main companies that are transporting goods in the world, and especially in these places. So we approach to MSK, to Maersk, and to Finlines. I even had like a direct contact from the Antwerp municipality with the MSK, and you probably also have here like very close contacts with Finlines, but this was not working at all, or they didn't give us any kind of answer, or they answered us that it's just not possible, that they don't take people on board. So we didn't succeed with this. Where I wanted to send myself, it's a container this size. Just to introduce you this box, this is the 20 feet container. So this is a regular ISO container. They come normally with two sizes. One is this one that is 20 feet, which is 6 meters long, 230 wide, and 260 high. And then it's the other one, so it's the bigger one. It's the same wide and the same height, but the length is 12 meters. So when they told me that this is not possible, I was thinking, okay, what then if I do the travel with the cargo boat? Because Antwerpen is one of the biggest ports in Europe, and also Helsinki is also one of very important ports in Europe, and also Turku has an important port. No? Because then I started to research on the internet, like what are the possibilities of the cargo travel, and I came across like many adverts, like really many of them, that saying travel if you are fed up of crowds, if you want the experience of the beautiful open sea, if you want to have a dinner with the captain, if you want to become a friend with the crew, then the cargo boat is the right thing for you. This is like the perfect sea experience that you can get more times. So it's like a really touristical advertising of holidays on a cargo boat. You pay a little bit more as for a passenger boat, because it's this like individual experience. So I thought that, okay, maybe this could be a nice way to solve this problem. But because of COVID, all this also stopped. So then the only thing that remained to travel here in this slow travel with the boat was to take the Fin Lady, which is a ro-ro passenger boat, which means roll on, roll off, which is like a transport boat for the cargo, but with wheels, and for the passenger. But as no one now travels on the passenger boats anymore, because we are all with tight schedules and want cheap flights and want to go from one point to another like really quickly, it was only 10 passengers now on this boat that is 11 floors high, and I think that 220-meter long. They were mostly just trucks and truck drivers and 10 passengers. So honestly, I do recommend this experience because it's beautiful. These big restaurants for 100 people are completely empty. You have your own table. You have these huge windows to observe the sea. There is a sauna there, but a cold jacuzzi. So the truck drivers have a separated place that is underneath the deck, and the passengers are a little bit above. But the place where you meet together with all the people that are on the boat is in the sauna. Before, the jacuzzi was warm, but as it's less passengers, they started to cut out the heat of the jacuzzi because the truck drivers started to sleep inside the jacuzzi. But the experience was really nice. It's like mostly only German truck drivers, very big men with a lot of tattoos, and they're funny and friendly. So this experience was really nice. So with this boat, then I arrived to Helsinki and then to Turku. To complete this idea that I had from the beginning, I decided to position myself in a container when I come to Turku for the same period of time that I spent traveling, which was 59 hours. At the end now, as I see it, I found it that it's maybe even better in this way, because here I'm able now to work with the container as an object, so as a part of the scenography, and not anymore with completely direct reference of problematics of people trapping. Because what I wanted to do here is to put myself in the chain of the traveling, of the transportation of the goods. I didn't want to expose like specifically one thing, and I also think that I'm somehow too privileged to even position myself in this position so directly. So then we positioned the container here because I think that it's easier accessibility now for the viewers. You could just like do the thing around and not go to the harbor. And also I think that if the container stays here, then again we can approach to it in a different kind of way as it would be in the container. It becomes more in the element of theatrical reality.
And on the other hand, the harbor is really restricted.
Yeah, also this, yeah, that
yes.
in the harbor you cannot enter. I saw this when I was entering there in Travemünde. So the place where I started was Travemünde, which is north of Germany and goes until Helsinki. So now I would like to invite you inside of the container, if everybody agrees, because I would like to explain you the things forward inside. This will be that I will explain you everything. There is nothing to be afraid of. Okay.
Are you still
So now I would like to ask you one more thing. Does someone have a problem with claustrophobia? I wanted to ask you, like, in the terms of the experience itself, because I spent here inside with the closed doors for 59 hours. Would it be okay if we close the door and then if someone feels bad, the person is outside and can open them immediately? Everyone okay?
Yes.
Okay. We just knock and that it goes out. How long? It depends on you. It can open when you want. It's okay? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I will be right outside.
Okay. So this was the first beginning. The one important thing that I would like that you experience it is the sound, because sound becomes different inside here. We are very lucky now because one element is it's not hot. During the day when I had also lectures, it happened that like this wall, because the sun was coming from the other side, this all started to burn. So it was like oven coming from here. It's like during the day it's 2 times hotter than outside, and during the night it's like 2 times more cold, because again it's working like a refrigerator.
So it wasn't dangerous for you during the day? Because like today was pretty warm, it felt good, but I mean, it would seem like it'd get really hot in here.
It does. I am a couple of times I fall asleep a little bit, because I think that, I don't know, it was too hot or it was like a lack of oxygen or something. So I think that it was not, because like there are these 4 holes. Here it's one, there is one, and there and here. So it's like a container that has an element of ventilation. It's not completely sealed as normally the ventilation at the containers would be. I forgot to show you when we entered inside. I forgot to show you one little piece of paper. I don't know if anyone saw it on the door, or maybe I will. You can look at it later. This is the only identification that the container normally has. It's called House of Bills, and on this paper it's written everything, like where is it coming from, what is inside, who sent it, who is responsible for the things, but it's only A4 paper. And then on this A4 paper there is a small square that says set to contain, so STC form. And on this form it's written what is in the container itself. The funny thing is that they can, like the container, it's closed, sealed, then this form comes on it, and then it's put on the boat together with 15,000 other containers. So normally a boat carries 15,000 containers. And then it's unloaded and opened on the place where it comes. So what is inside for real, it's a mystery. So it's like a treasure box or a box of magic. I don't know how to call it. What I came across is that they check only 1 of 10 containers, because there is not enough people to be able to like really do the checkup of all the containers. So then, yeah, I closed, these doors were closed. I had a person outside that was my security person, that I had the telephone number from him, and we were able to communicate if something bad would happen. Luckily, nothing happened, but he was there ready to help me if it would be necessary. I had here this bed. During the daytime, I was inside here in my underwear because it was too hot to be in anything else. I would be even naked, but I was really afraid that like if somebody would open the door here and find a Slovenian guy naked in this container in the middle of Turku, that probably I will end up somewhere even though we were taking care of me. During the night I was closed completely in, I was like in my jacket, in my hat, and wrapped in this sleeping bag because otherwise it was too cold to be inside. The funny thing was this, what I said before, the sound, because like when you close the door, the element of day and night doesn't play any role anymore, because there is nothing, there is a complete darkness inside, and then like the only thing that you can relate towards the thing outside is the sounds. So you start to listen in the morning. There is first like this construction worker started to work there, and then because of the noise it becomes here inside some kind of a weird vibrations that you really feel as you would be moving somewhere. So a couple of times I had to hold the chair because I was not sure if like is this going somewhere or it's just in my head or what is it. Then the second thing comes the children around 7 that you hear them outside. Then it's like these little steps, tick, 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 and you hear that it's like probably an old guy with a dog, because then you hear him coughing and smoking a cigarette. And then all the time, like around 12, laughing started to come from the bar next door here. And then laughing started to be screaming, and then screaming started to be like shouting, then more laughing. And then in one moment in the evening, you hear that there is like really something coming, and you don't know what it is. And then they started to bang on the door and scream like, "Ah, who is inside? Come out!" They were trying to open the door, and at that moment I got honestly a little bit afraid, because I didn't know what would happen if somebody would open this door. Even though everything is like somehow under control, but still this was honestly my biggest fear. Not so much the heat and the cold, this was okay, but what I was afraid of was the other people again. But this happened to me already in some other projects before. Because like this box was positioned here as something that was not here before. So it can also be understood as a misplaced container. And normally, as there is only this piece of paper underneath, on the top, it could be inside like whatever. So because I was not making any sound out of this container, no light was coming out, it could be that this is just like, I don't know, 1,000 flip-flops from some other place,
Yeah,
you know,
people
like,
get curious.
or I don't know, 4 dead refugees, because like I just read now a story of like 4 refugees that tried to embark a container at the beginning of the Balkan route, which starts at Serbia, and they wanted to go into they went into the containers on the train that were traveling to Rijeka, and then from Rijeka they would go with the boat to Italy, but then the container was misplaced, and they found them 4 months later in Paraguay, of course dead. Or the other situation was like also with one of these, but not misplaced one, that was 14 people traveling in a 2 times size of this container from China to the US, and they had to pay 50,000 euro per person for the travel itself. They also, I think that 2 of them survived, and then so me myself, I had like the 200K deluxe apartment. If I look what was my experience here. So yeah, what I wanted to say is that at the end, when all these sounds and the fear was happening, I tried to pretend to be completely quiet. That this is just a metal box. So this would in fact be from my side about my experience inside here, and now I open the questions to all of you of the things that like this talk triggered or opened, or that you maybe are interested about my experience here.
Did you have like time? Could you see what the time was?
Yeah, I had the phone, so this was it. But like without the light, it becomes also something abstract.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no day and night here.
No, look, it's if I close it, it's like this. It's yeah, it's not.
Did you have the flashlight still?
If I had
Did you have the flashlight?
flashlight, I had a little table lamp.
Yeah.
So this was able to be like an element of a directed light that was existing here.
So how did you feel that you need some light, how long was it comfortable to be in the dark container?
No, it was not comfortable. Like the first day, I felt like somehow that I was excited to have this moment of peace and solitude, that I would be able to focus, you know, like without any kind of how do you call this, outside things that would put you out of focus. Also because it's like really nothing inside of this place. But this, like after half of a day, it goes away. The slowly even the color starts to go away. Like this is blue and this is green, but even this, because of this emptiness and hollowness, it's becoming just gray slowly. So at the end, like because like when I wanted to close myself inside, I wanted to experience the what does it mean, this solitude and emptiness inside of this hollow metal box, you know, that completely changed so many things, because like containers were built invented only in 1956, and they came into the international use in 1966. So it means it's only 60 years that we are using this, but even though that containers have like no sails, no wheels, no engine, like no motor, nothing technological, it's inside here, but it's a major runner of globalization, because like through this they manage to like everything what we are using, or eating, or consuming, or wearing, it's coming from somewhere else, like from a place where the labor is cheaper. And also like it's us, like humans, that were able also to misuse it for like so many things. This empty space became a place of drug trafficking, human trafficking, all kinds of these horrible actions, and I wanted to have an experience of this, and also I did it here because I think that the experience itself leaves some kind of a trace. So in way to be able to talk with you about this here, I think that I needed to do this this stay in the container itself.
Did you entertain yourself with like mind games or counting time? You know, did you in the darkness? Did you allow hallucinations? What was happening internally?
I did, like, one of the things I wanted to structure this talk. So this was like an occupation that was a clear goal that I knew that I'm gonna do. Then the other thing that like also helped was there was a clear time schedule, so I knew when I'm going in and I knew when I'm going out. So I knew that these 59 hours will pass, and that there is a possibility to go out. And then yeah, I had my phone with me, so of course I was also like scrolling stuff because I think that this is the thing that yeah, you do it. No, it's not that when I go inside here, then I will not do it. Even my mother called me like to tell me something, I don't know what, and then she asked like, "Where are you, Mark?" And I said, "In a container." And then she was like, "What the fuck again?" These were also, of course, elements that were part. But yeah, it was what I was doing then. This structure that you see here on the wall, this is like somehow the mind map of the conversation that we are having now. So these were like some kind of anchors of the things that I wanted to speak about. And regarding these anchors, then I wrote like some kind of essay about what was about what I wanted to explain and what I was thinking about. Then I tried to cook a little bit. He can, it's no problem. No problem. He's thirsty, no problem at all. It's clean water also, it's nothing was inside, it was just the water for coffee. I cooked only coffee, nothing else, because like well, I was a little bit afraid that the food will get bad, so I will mostly get canned food, and also I didn't know like how much oxygen the cooking will use. So I only once I put tons of water inside and I boiled it because it was really cold, and I thought that this maybe could help a little bit.
Was somebody taking your feces out, or how did
If somebody was,
Like toilet matters.
sitting toilet?
toilet is here.
Oh, okay. It wasn't empty during the.
That's a wood toilet, a shaped wood toilet or whatever?
This is like a normal basket of 10 liters that has a little place that you can sit on, and then I was using the this wood remainings. Sawdust, yeah, because if you put this, like it sucks in the pee, and the smell is a little bit better. So yeah, it didn't really smell on pines here, but I was just because like the second day this was starting to get almost full, so I was afraid like what if I urgently have to go to the toilet and I didn't have any place anymore. Yeah, like and then if this would be really bad. Yeah, so no. So I propose if you're doing this. 2 days it's okay. Then the container, you need more containers for the toilet.
Oh yeah, you wonder like those guys that got stuck. I mean, where did they go, right?
This I have no idea. No, this is also one thing that it is here. Like here, I washed the floor before I went inside. Even though it's a new container, it was dusty, but not like really dusty. It was completely okay. But when with the heat, you started to feel with the breathing. Yeah. But in the real containers, there is like real dust, and this I have no idea how the people are able to breathe inside of something like this.
It's also interesting because now we can feel like there's in the square that there's like air kind of outside of the container, but I'm just all the time imagining that what about if there would be 10 containers on top of us and on both sides, every direction. You would be just like in a like how many did you say? 15,000 container in a one ship.
Yeah.
So kind of your container would be just one amongst of all these. How lonely feeling is that?
No, I'm happy that, and I think that for the project itself, it's better that I didn't travel
It's so,
with the container.
so
I think
much.
that it's,
Well, they couldn't have gotten to you if something happened.
I don't know.
If they had to move like 15 containers or 20 or 30.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, we
so
were
yeah.
thinking that like if this would be done, that maybe then I would arrange with them that they position me.
As
If
a
we would
special
get the
provider,
allowance,
yeah.
they
On the
would
penthouse.
position it already somewhere else. But as I said, I think that it's much better that it came across like this.
The mass is really, sorry.
Is it possible to open?
Of course, absolutely, absolutely.
I was thinking it must be getting very bad back there. Whew.
I think I need to go.
Thank you very much. Ready after the meeting.
Well, like air.
If someone would like to have some water, there is water there on the floor. Just one person, and she was super cool because like what she wrote here says live load Slovenian male 42. So I got the message, hello, here it's a female, 20 years old, Finland. And I was like, okay. So, but then I realized immediately that she's joking.
Yeah.
And then we had like a really nice conversation. Today it's Friday, no?
Yeah.
On Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning.
How was that experience?
Vampiristic.
What's that?
The thing was that like we opened the door and then this song came and the first thing is like
Yeah. Oh, vampiristic.
in,
Yeah.
the-
I see.
in this way.
Probably. Were you very disoriented when you came out?
No. This was okay. So
you-
there is a
Do you
question.
have thoughts on,
What?
like, for the general person, how much sympathizing, empathizing with a refugee who's forced to cross, in the experience of actually crossing, like, how much do you allow yourself to imagine into that experience? Like, is it? Do you have any thoughts on not the ethics of, because one can imagine whatever one wants, but like for our society or for your own mental health or balancing ethics with mental health? Like, how much would you, when you were doing this and thinking and planning, getting inside the head? It's maybe different than the stories that you told of the people who died in these, or the people who survived them. Like, how much do you think about, or what would you recommend as a
Well, I would
way to
recommend
empathize?
for the world to change, because I think that no one deserves something like this, and I would put the people that charge someone, like there is probably a whole chain of people, like somebody charges this, and I think that it's completely like any kind of feeling towards towards another human being, it's gone. So I don't know whether we were talking with a partner of Lena. How do these people look like? And like, would you recognize them on the street if they would be going around? There was a lot of questions opening regarding this, but this was not the primal goal of this project to go in this, because I was I really think that like. If I would start with this, then I would already immediately understand it as an element of appropriation. And this, I found it disgusting and immediately wrong. To speak about this from the position of a privileged guy from Slovenia, you know, like being supported with the festival to do something like this. So no, but like thoughts about this, of course. This box, it opened it, and it opened a lot of thoughts about this, like what a human is possible. This is what I said already before. It's like who are we, you know, like that are inventing these kind of things, making tons of money with this. The MSK company that is the owner of the biggest, so like two owners there, a husband and wife are the owners of this one company that is the major runner of this business, and especially it went like really up during the time of COVID because they still pushed the boats to go. Their value is $100 billion. they're one of the richest people in the world, and they're 80 years old, which means that this is like a capital that was created now. It's not something from the families from the past, you know, like they already have this, so, and we are still trying to push forward to try to earn more and more and more, and with what then, okay, that the goods are transported from the places that the wage is lower. This I can somehow understand, but people, this no, this is beyond for me, really. And the other thing, what is like when I talked before about the misplaced containers, you know, like you can find the misplaced containers with 100,000 flip-flops or with 15 bodies inside, but you will never find a misplaced container with 2 tons of cocaine. This, like I did the research about this, they never found a container with misplaced drugs inside. This is monitored, but the people are not.
Just an interesting fact I heard somewhere, like the mass of a like container ship is really hard to like comprehend, because it has so much like stuff, like 15,000 containers, that if they are on their way from like Brazil to Rotterdam, they have to start to like put the brakes in like south of England, like 1,000 kilometers before.
Oh, wow.
Because the load is so big.
Yeah, it just goes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's unbelievable. And these are like the biggest ones, like miles.
Yeah. And they pollute so much
Yeah.
that it's insane.
Yes.
But yeah, we still all need new
Use
tennis
the-
shoes and
yeah.
all this stuff. Yeah, no, this is. Some more questions?
Did you have a padlock on it? Was it locked?
Yeah. It was locked from the inside, that I was able to unlock it by myself. So. I had like a chain and this that it was like around, it was through here, and then like that I was able to be able to unlock it also from the outside, from the inside, if something would come up, because like in the time when I would call someone to come here to save me if something is happening bad, then I didn't want to play with this, and of course no one could be outside all the time to look at this. So like this, I felt somehow in control of these things.
So you wasn't be afraid of your like well-being and your life, because you was able to like open it by yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not like exactly the same experience like the people who need to escape.
Of course not. No, it's a completely different thing. It's the thing that it's controlled, observed, secured. No, it goes for something completely else. I can never position myself with this in the experience what happens to the people that are going through a hard time like this. No.
No, but by doing it, you make us think of them, and you think of them also when you are in this position. I mean, even if, of course, the idea is not of reproducing in an obscene manner what migrants who are obliged to do this experience, but by doing it, even if it's symbolic, you bring. I'm thinking much more of that situation of the people traveling like that because of your experience. You know what I mean? That's what art is useful for, in a way. It's that it can lead you to have a kind of reflection.
I mean, think that you can make a pedestal for thoughts.
Yeah.
And this, I think that it allowed this box allowed this possibility.
You can see all the questions we have. I mean, a lot of deal with that.
Well, it turns out it's very hard just to be in one of these for 58 hours. That's really interesting too, because it's not something, it's like making us aware of what this is. I have heard that they wanted to repurpose these containers, or I've read maybe, for people who were crossing the border. They put
It's
them
used.
into
It is in use for this. It's in use for like many different things. Like also really good because a used container you can buy for €1,000. And
cheap house.
Yeah, and the quality of metal is in fact really good. It's not. It's a couple of millimeters, so it means that it will probably survive at least 20 to 30 years. And if you make a good insulation inside, it's super nice, with a little window, of course.
Right.
Some company actually do transform their containers into habitation houses for their workers.
They get.
I lived in a container like this, but arranged in Saudi Arabia, because the people who were building the palaces for people from the family, I was doing some painting there, but they did that, and it was not. I mean, it was common in apparently at that period to bring the stuff needed for the building and transform the containers in little houses with air conditioning and all that. Of course, you're in Saudi Arabia.
Didn't they use containers for the World Cup too?
Probably.
I thought they were like $300 a night still because of the or €300, so it's a really high price, but.
I see this like in Croatia now. It started in the campsitings,
Right.
It's not popular anymore to put the tent in the nature, but now in the camping you need to have a little house. So they're using something like containers, and they're also charging, I think, from 250 to 500 a night, which is completely insane. But yeah, and plus it's honestly it's ugly. There to put it in the Croatian countryside,
I mean,
the containers.
It can't be good for the environment. You're killing everything underneath it.
But this with the house also, no? If you put the concrete structure, I think that it's the same.
True. But you're going past that, like people live elsewhere and go stay in a place where you're also killing.
Some more questions?
Just a small, you probably said it already, but I missed it. Where was this from, this container? Is it?
This container is rented here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's rented here, and it's yeah. Lena, maybe you have a better answer to this. Where this specific container is from?
Lotta.
Lotta, you fixed it. Okay.
Yeah, they brought it close somewhere here because in the morning they were bringing it. They called me like, I'm just gonna leave soon, and it was like 15 minutes, so it's really close. I think it's from the harbor somewhere. Yeah, Turku or Naantali or.
Yeah.
It looks brand new, sort of. It looks pretty recent.
I think that it's used mostly for like some kind of a presentation stuff, or because it has this air conditioning holes inside. Because normally they don't have this; they're completely sealed. But then it would be a little
I was
problematic.
going to say, if it wasn't airtight, that would be an issue too. You don't want to climb into one of those things, but. I mean, we've had like things in the United States where people were smuggling immigrants across the border, and they put them in the back of a truck that was like a container, and they died.
Yeah.
Like 100 of them. So it was really bad. I think the truck driver like knew what was going on and just abandoned them and like took off so he wouldn't be caught.
Yeah, before was here someone from Bulgaria, and he told me that like now, because it's the first border, refugees are coming daily in the containers there, and they just like leave them. But because it's a short travel, they leave them by the highway. They leave them wherever, and then they're arrested and deported. Now, thank you everyone for coming.